Welcome back to Twisted Stitches. My name is Tammy. How is everybody doing? Thank you guys so very much for coming back and tuning in to listen to me. I appreciate it so very much. Thank you to my very new subscribers. Hi guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming back. Thank you to all my regulars who keep coming back. I really appreciate you very, very much. I want you to know that. Today's episode is basically going to be a little bit of a crochet chat. No knitting, all crochet. I have a couple of finished objects, and I'd like to talk to you about how the patterns worked out, about the patterns in general, some of the things that you may encounter when you're doing these patterns. The patterns that I will be discussing today are free, so everything that I discuss that's a pattern that I've done will be linked, of course, in the description box. I will always leave links in the description box. Wow, guys, it has been crazy. I didn't realize that I hadn't filmed in like over a week. I was like, oh, I just filmed just recently and I put up a video just recently. And then I started looking through and all of a sudden I realized it's been over a week, and I'm so sorry, guys. Normally I'm at least once a week. I try to go for 5 days, maybe twice a week. That's my average. And this week, these days flew by and are flying by. Currently, I remember in the last video I was telling you that I am working on my other room that previously I used to film in, the one with the blue walls. Well, it got painted, but what had happened was Tom went to Home Depot for me. I picked out the color I wanted, and I picked it out online. And I told him, I said, when you get the small pints of, for accent color baseboards, around the trim of the door and stuff, I said, tell them I want this, how do you explain it? Similar shade, but I want it deeper. I want it like, 3, 4, maybe 5 times deeper. So you can tell it's contrasting, And he came back, and when he brought it back, I said, oh, it's the same color. It was listed on the paint can as the same color as the other can. And he said, oh no, the guy adjusted it. It's a different color. I said, oh, okay. I'm okay with that. So we hired someone that we kind of know who does odd jobs for not too expensive, thank God. And, well, maybe whatever. He came over on, when did he come over? Monday? Yes, Monday. Anyway, he came over on Monday, painted the room. And then he painted the trim. I think he painted the room on Monday, and then Tuesday came back and painted the room. Something like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Mute to this point, 100%. Anyway, so the next day he came back, he painted the trim and all that stuff. And I waited for it to dry, because you know how paints change after they've been dried. Well, the next morning I got up, I looked at it, I went, I really can't tell a difference between the wall and the door jamb, or the door frame. I said, I don't understand this. I thought this was a different color. And Tom's like, oh, yes, it was a different color for sure. So, unfortunately, now I have to go in there and get on the floor and paint the baseboards and the door thing, because I can't afford to hire anybody else. And there are a couple little vacation spots in the paint that I need to touch up. No big deal, but still, well, kind of a big deal, because I've got to get on the floor, and that's, with the disability, it's going to be really fun. But anyway, I got to get it done. It will be done soon now, and very soon I'll be moving into my new room. As a matter of fact, right now, hopefully my dogs will bark, because they usually bark when anybody comes up to the porch. I am awaiting Amazon. I don't know who's delivering it. I haven't gotten any notification, but today I'm supposed to get a shelving unit that I bought on Amazon for my yarn. So it's supposed to be here before 8 o'clock. I don't know. It's like 6:30 at night, and I'm finally getting a chance to sit down and film, and nothing yet. Anywho, a little bit of just craziness. So just we've been having some work done in the house. If you want to find out what's wrong with your house, have somebody come in and do some electrical work and find out that these plugs don't work unless this is going, these plugs don't work unless, especially in an old house like this. This house was built in 1970. Oh my gosh. So, as a matter of fact, in this room where I'm sitting right now, which is what we cutely called the man-witch cave, we have the trophies and stuff in here, but I used to have my computer in here. Well, now, except for the light, I have no electricity. So my computer now went into the new room, but I still have to move it now because I'm going to have to paint. You know how that goes. You all know what I'm talking about. I'm tired from talking about it, and I'm going to have to do it in the next couple of days. So, and I have been busy. I've been running around like crazy doing things. I wanted to touch on something real quick, guys. I always, I don't want to say, I don't know how to explain this. I always answer, or at least acknowledge, that if you leave a comment, I always acknowledge in the comment section that I've read your comment, I talked to you, that kind of thing. Lately, I have been finding out that I'm not getting notified that comments are being left. I'm going through that YouTube studio, and I'm finding comments that were left like 3 weeks ago. And so if you see me answering comments very, very late, it's because I didn't get notified at all that a comment or anything has been left. And I'll go through and I'm taking care of something, I'm doing something, and I just realized I really need to check that a little bit more often. I don't. I'll be honest with you. I'm not real good with that. I usually, once I'm done uploading, usually it'll notify me of a comment, and I'm on my phone, and I just comment back. But like I said, lately, YouTube hasn't been doing very good with notifying. I hope that changes soon. So if I don't get back with you right away, it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's just because I'm not getting the notification, and I'm going to have to manually search, and it's just not coming up. I have to really look for it to find the comments, and I don't know why. So I just want to let you guys know that, so you don't think I'm being a witch or something. I'm not. I'm not that kind of person. I like to chitter chat, as you can tell. 7 minutes and I'm chitter chatting too much. What did I want to tell you? The room is painted. Kind of painted. Now I got to get back to it. Oh, and to top it off, another reason it's been crazy is the other day I was going to go. It was just a day after I had videotaped last time. I think it was the next day, Thursday or something like that. I was like, oh, it's going to be a beautiful day out. Let's go for a ride. We need to get out, get a little sunshine, get a little fresh air. We try to do it about once a week now. And guess what? Wake up in the morning, my refrigerator's dead. Now, everything was still cold, thank God. So here we go. I did find a good used refrigerator, but that blew the whole day. So little things like that have just been enveloping my days. And time is just getting away from me, and I'm so sorry. So that's what... Some of that, I say this to say that for you guys. This is what's been going on. So I'm not ignoring and I'm not shirking my responsibilities. I really like to get on here and talk to you guys because I miss you guys, and you guys are my fiber friends, and I feel like I have somebody to talk to who understands my little bit of weirdness once in a while. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so I think I've touched on everything I wanted to touch on, and if I haven't, I'm sure as soon as I shut off the thing, Oh, and then another funny thing. So, what is going to be, I'll be talking about real quick, is blankets that I've got. I got hired to make baby blankets. Now, I have yarn, and it was just ironically funny. I know I'm jumping subjects a little bit, but I was watching Sandy at Crochet, and she was talking about a project that she had to do, and she's like, I'm surrounded by yarn. I have yarn everywhere, but she didn't have what she needed to do that particular project, and she's waiting for yarn to come. And when I got hired to do, I thought it was just one baby blanket. And I was like, oh, I got plenty of yarn to do a baby blanket. Almost any pattern you choose, I have plenty of yarn to do one good baby blanket, you know, of whatever colors or whatever. So the person gets back to me and they're like, I need 4 baby blankets. And so I was like, oh my goodness, 4. And so the problem arises is that I have plenty of yarn to do 4 separate baby blankets, but I don't have enough to do 4 separate baby blankets going to the same person. I don't want them to have different yarns, different textures, different feels. I want them to all feel and work the same way because it's going to the same person. And I was like, I don't have enough yarn to do 4 separate blankets I was like, I've got yarn everywhere and I've got to go to the store and buy yarn. And thank God Monday Hobby Lobby opened up because this particular pattern, one of the versions of it calls for Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, and I went, perfect. They usually have plenty of it, and they did. They had plenty of the yarn that I needed to make the 4 baby blankets, and I literally had to go out and buy yarn to make these baby blankets. And I laughed because I told Tom, I said, you're not going to believe this, but I have to go buy yarn. I said, I know I've been on a yarn ban, but I have to buy yarn. He goes, whatever you got to do, you got to do. I get it. At first he didn't understand, but then he got it when I explained it a little bit more. So the project that they want, I told them, you know, tell me what you want, what you're willing, you know, your price range that you're looking to spend. And so they sent me a picture of, funny enough, a baby blanket called the Gingham Baby Blanket, and it's made by Daisy. I wrote it down. Daisy Farm Crafts. And not only does she have it on her blog and it's a free pattern, but she has a video on like how to change the yarns and stuff, which that's no big deal. But the one blanket that she actually sent me the link to, that what she wants, is the one that was purple, and it was made with Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn. And I was like, perfect. I'm just going to get all that yarn for all 4 baby blankets, and that will do, because one of the blankets is made with Karen Simply Soft, and I think that would be really nice, and it would be nice and soft and drapey, but unfortunately I cannot find the colors that are needed to make it work. None of the colors were kind of meshing right, and in my local stores like Joann's and Michael's, they didn't have enough of one color, or they would have one color and I'd have to go to another store to get another color, and I was like, I'm not doing that. And like I said, thank God Hobby Lobby was open, and I was able to go in there, and it wasn't really packed. Thank God. It was nice and quiet, and everybody was really good, and everybody was keeping their distance, and I got the yarn I needed to do this. So that is going to be going on the hook next, because I need to get one of the blankets is due in a couple of weeks. Then she needs the other blanket a couple of weeks after that. And then I have another like month and a half to do the other 2 blankets. So that's coming up next. You know, there's going to be nothing else going on. I'm going to get those blankets done, finished, out of the way. So one less thing to worry about. So anyway, why am I saying all that? But anyway, so that was some of my day too, running around getting supplies I needed. I had to go back to Home Depot with the little pint of paint, and have the guy deepen it up. And he actually deepened it up twice, and the 2 times he deepened it up, it almost looked exactly the same again. And then I think it finally clicked. I said, look, I really need this paint deep. I need it to be, I said, just don't go black. I said, but deepen it up so you can tell the difference. So when I look at it, I can go, there's the wall, there's the door. I didn't think it was going to be an issue, but yeah, yay, he got it finally. And I was like, yes, that's it. Felt like I was there forever, but it finally got that done. Yay. So real soon, I'll be in the other room, probably in maybe a couple weeks max, just, you know, making sure I'm getting everything cleaned out, getting everything done real soon. I'm excited. I know. I'm talking too much now. Okay, shush. No more talking about lifestyle. I've already wasted too much time. Let's get on with the chlorophyll, shall we? Okay, so the first thing that I finished was this hat. This is called I'm looking over at my notes, sorry guys. The Diagonal Hatch Slouchy Hat. This is a pattern by Whistle and Ivy, and the author of it is, her name is Bethany. This was published on her blog site. It's a free pattern, and it was published September 15th of 2015. If you type in a Google search, Diagonal Hatch Slouchy Hat, this will come up. Well, that's one. Now, this was one of my fiber friends recommended this for me to make for the Hat Not Hate, and I made it using Lime Brand Red Heart Super Saver in the colorway Windsor and in the colorway Light Blue. I used the light blue I mixed the pom-pom with both colors, and then the accent diagonal lines are made with the light blue. Beautiful, easy pattern. I liked it a lot. It's essentially made with using half double crochets, chain one, half double crochets in the chain one space, almost like the moss stitch, but instead of single crochets, you're doing it with half double crochets. The problem, now, when I go to do a pattern, I read the entire pattern. I'll read, if it's on a blog post, I will read comments left by people who have done the hat. One comment in particular had stated, did you use a size 4mm hook for your hat? And what size was this hat supposed to be for? Because my 9-year-old daughter does not fit in the hat. And the author commented back that it fit an adult woman. Okay, that sounds good. So what I did is I looked at the yarn that she listed that she used for her hat, and I thought, well, maybe she used a chunky yarn, like a 5 weight or something. But no, she used Brava, Knit Picks Brava, which is a worsted weight, and it has 218 yards per 100 grams. And she used a 4mm hook. Okay, now even with a very loose tension, it still didn't seem like it was going to work out. So when I looked at the Super Saver, there are 364 yards per 198 grams. So I rounded up to 200 grams. So I divided 364 in half, and I got, 182. So I said, okay, the Super Saver, Red Heart Super Saver is approximately 182 grams 182 yards per 100 grams. And the Brava was 218 yards per 100 grams. So I assumed that the Brava was a thinner weight yarn. That's why she used the 4mm hook. So I went and I used a 5mm hook. 5mm hook. And I thought, okay, so since I'm using a thicker yarn and a 5mm hook, if the commenter, the person who made the hat that said it didn't fit her daughter, maybe if I up the size of the yarn and up the size of the hook, it will fit. This doesn't fit my head. I've stretched it. It stretches. I mean, it has some stretch to it, and I can probably block it a little bit, and make it loosen a little bit, but it still won't go on my head. So I'm hoping this can be used. I'm hoping there is a kit out there for the Hat Not Hate that will fit into this. I don't know. If I do this pattern again, because it's really cute. I mean, I really like the way it worked up. It looks really cute. I do believe that I will either go up to a 5 weight yarn and then bump my hook up to a 6mm, maybe even a 6.5, but definitely a 6mm, or do the 4 weight. Maybe the 4 weight with a 6mm would make it fit like an adult size head. I'm not sure, but when I have the opportunity, I'm going to remake this with, I'm going to do a swatch with a thicker yarn and a larger hook, and then I will measure this, swatch this, and then see like what the difference is and see if I can't help you guys out. So if you make this, just know that I would suggest personally going on and making it with like a 5-weight yarn with a 6.5, maybe the K hook, and you should be able to make gauge for an adult size hat on an adult size head. If you're gonna go and use just a worsted weight, I would think that you are going to have to. It's just a basic pattern. There's no particular stitch count that you really need for this. So I would suggest you just increase your stitch count. And the band had fit around my head. But then as I was making it, even though it stayed an even tube like it said, it just was too snug. Just too snug. And so, like I said, I would suggest changing the stitch count and making it a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. So that's that. So this was a nice pattern, easy read, no problems with it, just the size. So I didn't measure this, so sorry about that. So that was a finished object for Hat Not Hate, and that was recommended by Tiffany Smith. Thank you, Tiffany. It's really cute, and I will make this again, just with a different weight. My next hat that will be going on the hook was recommended by my fiber friend Barbara Linehard. Sorry, Barbara, if I mess up your name. And it is Creative Grandma's Easy Shell Stitch Hat. So that's going to be the next one going on. And then after that, I have a couple more to do. But that is that one. That one's complete. So, remember on the last episode, I told you that Tom's nickname for one of his biker groups that he rides with, the guys that ride with him, they call him Possum. That's his nickname, road name, or whatever you want to call it. Even though his name is Ragu and always has been Ragu, they call him Possum. So he asked me to make him a possum. Well, opossum. I make an opossum. So here it is. We got the opossum done. He came out pretty cute. The pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry. It is just called Opossum, and the author is Laura Gillard. And let's see, it was published in April of 2016. They used Stylecraft Special double knit, so they used a DK and they used a 3.5 millimeter hook. I used some mill ends that I bought last year from Hirschner's. It was just the gray and the white were mill ends, and the black is just some, what is it? Lion Brand Pound of Love, in black. And then the pink here is Mainstays pink that I used, and then just some eyes. And I used a 4.5 millimeter hook, and it worked out real cute, worked out good. Has the paws are a little funky to me, but it looks good when you see it from far away. I told him I think I'll make him another one, and I'll make a real small one, and I'm thinking about doing it so the tail can hook and curl and he can hang it, because he's been hanging this in different things and taking pictures, so I guess he likes it. I thought he turned out pretty good. It was a easy to follow pattern. If you do it and use a DK weight, it should work out just fine. It worked out just fine with a worsted weight using one size up hook, a 4.5 millimeter, and I had no real problems. It was easy to read, and it went pretty smoothly, I think. I don't think I had to frog it at all, or I get frustrated with amigurumi anyway because it's so little, around his nose. That was teeny. It started out with chain 2 and what was it? Was it 6 single crochets, in the second chain from the hook, and you're basically going in a circle, but it was just so tiny and it was so hard to see. I felt like a little old lady holding my work this close to my face to get it done, but it came out pretty cute. I'm happy with it. He's happy with it. So I will leave the link for, of course, the diagonal slouchy hat, the diagonal hatch slouchy hat, And I will leave the link for the possum. So if you want to make it, you can. So if you like amigurumi and you like possums, if you like opossums, this is a real good pattern, real easy to make pattern, and I will leave the link in the description box. Click on it, make an Ravelry account, sign into your Ravelry account, and just make away. Real easy, super simple. And then just click it and make your little possum. So there we go. So we got Tom Jr. Oh, Lord. And that's it, guys. That's everything that I've gotten done. Been super busy, like I said, so I hope you can forgive me for not posting a video sooner. The time just flew by. I would have sworn if you would have said, Tammie, you haven't posted a video in over a week, I would have said, yeah, I just did it this Tuesday. I just posted. And then I realized, no, I didn't post this last Tuesday. It was the Tuesday before. Where is the time going? Thank you for dropping by. Please consider giving me a thumbs up, liking this video, and subscribing. I'd appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll be talking to you guys really, really soon. Bye!